I sit cross-legged on the smooth hardwood floor of my apartment, surrounded by a scattered constellation of glossy photographs. The Vermont wedding I photographed last weekend turned out even better than I had envisioned. The bride's cream-colored gown against the fiery autumn foliage created the exact contrast I'd hoped to capture, the kind that makes a photo stop someone mid-scroll. My favorite frame freezes the couple beneath a towering canopy of maple trees, fingers barely brushing as a gentle swirl of amber leaves drifts around them, caught in the golden late afternoon light. The phone rings, slicing through the quiet. My mother's name flashes on the screen. I hesitate, thumb hovering over the accept button, unwilling to break the fragile bubble of calm I've wrapped myself in. "Hi, Mom." I wedge the phone between my shoulder and ear while my hands continue sorting photos into potential album layouts, careful to keep the frames in chronological order, the little stories they tell. "Courtney?" Her voice, crisp and taut, cuts through the soft music playing in the background. "I need to talk to you about Lily's wedding." A small, instinctive smile tugs at my lips as I think of my sister's upcoming Miami ceremony. I was planning to call her this week anyway, to discuss some ideas I had for capturing the ceremony from a fresh angle. I have some ideas for photography that would be perfect for... You'll ruin your sister's wedding. My coffee cup slips from my fingers, clattering onto the hardwood and shattering. Hot liquid sprays across the photographs, staining hours of meticulous work. I barely register the sensation. "What?" My voice feels distant, as if it belongs to someone else entirely. "Lily needs all the attention," Margaret continues, her tone firm and unyielding, every word sharpened with a precision meant to wound. "Your success would overshadow her day." The room seems to tilt, the edges of my vision spinning as I grip the edge of my desk, trying to anchor myself. "Mom, that doesn't make any sense. I'm her only sister. All the guests have received invitations." Each syllable lands with a crushing weight. "Everyone except you." My stomach knots, the familiar sting of childhood abandonment flooding back. The times I was left out of family snapshots, the refrigerator where my artwork was replaced by Lily's stick figures, Thanksgiving evenings seated at the kids' table while Lily perched on Dad's lap at the adults' table. "Mom, I'm her only sister. I've photographed nearly 200 weddings. I could help." The pleading in my voice is reluctant but unavoidable. "This doesn't make sense. Think of it as your gift to Lily," Margaret says, her tone softening into something worse than anger, a faux pity that digs into my chest. "You've always needed to be the center of attention. For once, let your sister have her moment." My throat constricts. "Let me talk to Lily. Surely this isn't what she wants." She agrees, partially. This was partly her idea. The lie hangs between us, or maybe it's not a lie, which would make it even more painful. I hang up without a goodbye and immediately dial my father. He answers on the second ring. "Court, everything okay?" "Dad, Mom just told me I'm not invited to Lily's wedding." "That can't be right." The pause tells me everything I need to know. "It's for the best, Court." His tone carries the same weary resignation he once used when telling me I couldn't display my photography trophy, the one I won at 12, because Lily might feel overshadowed. "You don't mean that," I murmur, pressing my palm against my forehead to steady the spinning room. "Your absence is a gift to your sister," he says. "Be selfless for once." The words slice through years of denial, exposing a pattern I had always hoped didn't exist. My mind flashes to Ethan, celebrating my first magazine cover, champagne at midnight, genuine pride in his eyes, while my parents' silence felt obligatory and tight. I glanced down at the coffee-stained photographs littering the floor, moments I'd captured of strangers radiating more warmth and attention than my family has ever shown me. I won't beg to be invited to my sister's wedding. The words emerge, stronger than I expect. "Don't be dramatic," my mother interrupts, the speakerphone making it impossible to ignore her presence. "Think of someone besides yourself. I've spent my life thinking of everyone else, shrinking myself, hiding accomplishments, minimizing my existence." My voice is steady, though the tremor inside refuses to fade. "All your cousins will be there," my father adds. "Everyone's excited to celebrate Lily. Don't make this difficult." The unspoken subtext is clear. I am the selfish, attention-seeking older sister, the narrative already cemented in the family's collective memory. They control the lens through which I am seen, and acceptance is conditional. I say, finally, though not convincingly,
What I understand is that this pattern will persist indefinitely unless I act. My professional and personal growth cannot survive if I continue to accept this diminishment. I end the call just as the front door opens. Ethan steps inside, camera bag slung over one shoulder, pausing mid-step at the sight of me, surrounded by broken ceramic and coffee-streaked photographs. "Courtney, what happened?" His concern, unfiltered and warm, clashes with the coldness I have just experienced. The words tumble out between sobs. The uninvitation, my Karen's reasoning, the decades of being made small so Lily could shine brighter. Ethan kneels beside me, careful of the shards of my broken mug. "They've done this your whole life. It's not fair." He helps me salvage the photographs that weren't destroyed, blotting coffee from the prints with patient, steady hands. Silence stretches between us for several minutes before he speaks again. "Your sister's wedding is about her," he says softly. "But your life is about you." I look up at him, clarity striking in a way I haven't experienced before. The choice isn't about attending or skipping Lily's wedding. It's about whether I continue making myself smaller or finally occupy the space I deserve. I whisper to myself, a new resolve solidifying. Maybe it's time to stand tall. 3 weeks crawl by, each day a haze of photo edits and album layouts, my eyes aching from endless screens. Yet my phone remains silent. No calls from Mom, no text from Lily. The wound festers beneath a thin veil of normalcy, until Amanda calls. "Court, you won't believe what Lily just posted." Amanda, balancing the phone and her own coffee mug, recaps in hushed tones, painting a scene of opulent Miami Beach celebrations, an $800,000 budget, white tulip centerpieces flown in from Holland, an 8-course dinner prepared by a celebrity chef. My stomach twists. "Nearly double what they initially planned," Amanda whispered, most of it covered by Bradley's parents. "There's more," she says. "Jenny, in the wedding party, told me something." My fingers tighten around my mug. "And? Bradley told Lily he didn't want you there. Said you make everything about yourself."
I swallow too quickly, the coffee burning my throat. He's never even met me. Jenny overheard Lily recounting stories about my overshadowing moments. Sweet 16, scholarship awards, moments that never were eclipsing moments. I open Instagram after the call. My mother's latest post stares at me, a picture of Lily and Bradley, champagne raised, white roses surrounding them. The caption reads, "Sometimes the kindest thing is to step back and let others shine." The afternoon fades as I sift through family albums in the spare closet, seeing patterns that had eluded me for decades. Nearly every portrait positions me just slightly behind Lily, off-center. Grandparents' praise muted after mother's whispered commentary. Wins diminished, excitement tempered, always for her. The system is clear. It was never isolated. Ethan returns from filming, finds me among the scattered photos, and sits wordlessly. He picks up a beach vacation picture, my smile strained, then opens his laptop, a folder titled Courtney Client Reviews. He reads aloud glowing testimonials from clients praising my ability to capture emotion, to make moments alive. "These people see you," he says simply. "Your family can't." I stare at a photograph in my hand, 16-year-old me holding my first DSLR, careful not to smile too widely, because Lily had just received a B on her math test. My whole life I thought achievement would win their pride. It never did. The deal was always my diminishing so she could shine. "That's their story, not mine," Ethan says. Past midnight, my phone buzzes. Lily. I hesitate, then answer. "Hey," she murmurs, slightly slurred. "I am now. I'm at Hannah's bachelorette weekend. Everyone's asleep but me. I miss you, Court." "Then why am I not invited?" My voice is quiet, tight with pain. She sighs. "Mom's afraid you'll charm everyone. You always do. Bradley's parents expect everything perfect. You'd ruin it by existing." "You don't understand," Lily whispers. "Sometimes it's hard being the favorite. Expectations crush me." I almost laugh at the irony. "You're worried about expectations? I've spent my life avoiding outshining you." She hesitates, then admits. "It is true. Deep down, you know it." Silence stretches between us until she says she should go. An hour later, Ethan finds me frozen in the dark living room. His eyes, heavy with concern, take in my expression. "What if we escaped for the weekend?" he suggests, pulling me close. "Clear your head." The next evening, we meet Sophia and Michael for dinner. I haven't told them about the weighing situation. Somehow they already know. "Your family can't see your light," Sophia says fiercely over pasta. Michael adds, "It's about reclaiming your narrative." "How?" I ask.
By living well, creating something beautiful, Sophia says. Their words linger as Ethan and I walk home through the cool Seattle night, stars peeking faintly through the city's glow. They're right. If I keep seeking their approval, I'll always shrink myself. Ethan squeezes my hand. Then stand tall. I look up at the narrow night sky visible between buildings, feeling a shift. Anger, hurt, determination. For 27 years, I lived by their rules, waiting for permission to exist fully. I'm done shrinking. We spread travel brochures across the coffee table in our Lake Chilean cabin. Ethan insisted we escape Seattle, distance from family drama, room to breathe. Early summer light glints off the lake, and I'm captivated. Court, come look, Ethan calls from the deck. His laptop displays a stone villa perched on cliffs above endless blue water. What is this? I ask, sitting beside him, camera in hand. Remember Giovanni, Milan documentary director? I nod. He rents his villa for intimate weddings. He clicks through images. Terraces, flowering vines, Mediterranean light. It's breathtaking, but my stomach tightens. We've been together 4 years, never seriously discussing marriage. Not because we don't want it, but because we've been postponing our happiness to avoid their disapproval. Ethan meets my gaze. How many times have we talked about marriage, only to find reasons to wait? 4 years of building a life while waiting for approval from people who will never give it. He takes my hand. September 15th is available. My photographer's mind calculates light angles. Perfect golden hour. 1 month before Lily's wedding, he adds. I look at him sharply. You think we should marry before my sister? He shakes his head. We marry when and where we want, Court. Not for your parents, not in competition with Lily. Oh, I understand. Even across the country, I've lived by their rules, waiting for mythical recognition. September 15th, I whisper, already composing shots in my mind. Stone bathed in evening light, jasmine carried on sea breeze, Ethan waiting against endless blue. Is that a guess? His smile, cautious, hopeful. I laugh, surprise and relief bubbling up. Yes, let's do it. For the first time since that call, I feel power, not pain. The next morning, I rise with clarity, phone in hand. Margaret answers on the third ring. Courtney, is everything okay? Her tone concerned, almost comical. Everything's fine, Mom. Better than fine, actually. Calm, measured, I announce. I wanted to let you know Ethan and I are getting married. Silence stretches between us. Then what? When did this happen? We've been together 4 years. The timing feels right. I watch an osprey circle above the lake. We found a perfect spot in Amalfi. Just 25 guests, very intimate. You can't possibly plan a wedding while Lily is planning hers. The edge in her voice is familiar. Do you have any idea how stressed she is with all the details? This will upset her terribly. And in the past, those words would have made me backtrack, apologize, minimize. Today, they simply wash over me. I'm not asking permission, Mom. I'm sharing news. My voice remains steady. Our small ceremony won't affect Lily's wedding at all. This is exactly what I mean about you always needing attention. She snaps. First, you make a fuss about not being invited to Lily's wedding, and now you're planning your own right before hers? I take a deep breath. This isn't about Lily. This is about the life Ethan and I are building. Richard, I hear her call to my father. Courtney is trying to upstage Lily's wedding with her own. I close my eyes, but instead of the familiar shame, I feel strangely calm. I need to go, Mom. I just wanted to hear it from you directly. Courtney. Goodbye, Mom. I end the call on my terms, not hers. The osprey dives toward the lake surface, emerging with a fish in its talons. I sit in the morning sun, waiting for the guilt and doubt to come. Instead, I feel only lightness. When I return inside, Ethan is making coffee. How did it go? Exactly as expected.
I smile, surprising myself. She thinks I'm trying to upstage Lily, but I didn't apologize, didn't back down, didn't make myself smaller. He hands me a steaming mug. Proud of you. My phone buzzes with texts from Jasmine and Taylor, 2 photographer friends I'd messaged last night about our plans. They both want to photograph the ceremony. I tell Ethan, scrolling through their enthusiastic responses. They say it's about time someone captured my moments instead of just everyone else's. Ethan grins. I email Giovanni. He's thrilled to host us, says the light that week is magical. More messages arrive throughout the day. My wedding clients from the past 2 years offering connections to Italian vendors, suggestions for music, promises to help however they can. The avalanche of support takes my breath away. Late that afternoon, Ethan's laptop pings with an email confirmation from Giovanni, including a personal note. My villa has hosted many weddings, but rarely ones between true artists who understand how to capture beauty. The house awaits your vision. I study the attached photos, already planning compositions, lighting setups, the exact moment when the setting sun will paint the stone walls gold. For the first time, I understand why my clients cry when they see my work. The power of having someone truly see your love story and capture it in its most perfect light. Should we invite them? I ask Ethan that evening as we watch stars appear over the lake. My family? Risk the drama? Or focus on creating our perfect day without their shadow? He wraps his arm around me. That's entirely your call. But remember, wedding photographer extraordinaire, what matters most in those moments you capture? Authenticity, I answer without hesitation. Then that's your answer. He kisses the top of my head. Whatever choice feels most authentic to you. I lean against him, watching the constellations emerge. The question suddenly seems less important than the realization that for the first time in my life, I'm making choices without calculating their effect on my family's approval. If this small act of independence feels this liberating, what might complete freedom from their judgment feel like? I spread out my portfolio on the living room floor, arranging wedding albums in a semicircle around me. It's been exactly 1 week since we booked Giovanni's villa on the Amalfi Coast, and the initial euphoria has settled into something more substantial, a quiet determination. What's all this? Ethan asks, stepping carefully between the albums. Research. I tap the cover of a winter wedding I shot in Vermont. I've photographed 180 weddings, but I've never analyzed what actually makes them meaningful. Our apartment has transformed into a command center. The dining table displays timeline charts, the walls showcase inspiration boards, and color-coded guest lists occupy every flat surface. My industry connections, florists, caterers, have all reached out after hearing our news, but I'm filtering every offer through a single question. Does this authentically reflect us? Ethan sits cross-legged beside me, paging through an album from a Napa Valley ceremony. This doesn't feel like you're planning revenge anymore. It's not revenge, I say, studying a candid reception shot where the groom's elderly grandmother dances with a flower girl. This is about creating something genuine. The satisfaction I felt telling my mother about our wedding plans has faded. That momentary victory wasn't enough. What matters now is building something authentic, not reacting to their exclusion. I pull out my notebook where I've been studying techniques to document our own ceremony. Since we're both behind cameras professionally, I want to ensure we capture our day properly. I need to approach this like my most important wedding assignment, I tell Ethan. That means analyzing every component objectively. In my professional shoots, I constantly look for unguarded moments. A father tearing up, hands entwining, laughter during the vows. Those split seconds reveal more than any post-portrait. Now I'm applying that same analytical eye to our ceremony. What if we treated this like a documentary? Ethan suggests, his filmmaker instinct emerging. Let's tell our story, not theirs. I nod, already sorting through my portfolio for examples. Which moments actually matter? When I look through thousands of weddings I've shot, the same elements consistently resonate. Together, we begin examining my collection of photographs, identifying what creates authenticity. Not the expensive centerpieces or designer gowns, but the raw emotion captured when couples think no one is watching. We need Maria and Alex, I decide, referring to photographer friends whose work I've always admired. They understand my vision and can document while we experience. Ethan makes a note. Giovanni emailed this morning about local vendors and legal requirements. The paperwork needs filing 6 weeks before the ceremony. Harmon. We spend the afternoon coordinating logistics, cross-referencing with Italian marriage requirements, and selecting the few guests who have consistently supported us. Each decision feels like laying another brick in a foundation that has nothing to do with my family and everything to do with our future. The phone rings late that evening. My cousin Amanda's name appears on the screen. Courtney, she says without greeting. Lily just called me hysterical. She heard about your Italian wedding from Bradley's cousin who follows your friend Maria on Instagram. My stomach tightens. And your mom is calling everyone in the family. She's telling people you're deliberately sabotaging Lily's special time. I close my eyes, visualizing the network expanding. Aunts, uncles, cousins, all receiving carefully crafted messages portraying me as the villain. What did you tell her, consider? I ask. I said I needed to talk to you first, Amanda says, her voice softening. Court, are you doing this to get back at them? The question hangs between us. A week ago, the answer might have been yes. Now, looking at our meticulously crafted plans spread across the apartment, I know differently. We're creating something authentic, I tell her, not competing with anyone. After hanging up, I find Ethan standing in the doorway, concern etched on his face. They're mobilizing the extended family, I say. He steps forward, placing his hands on my shoulders. Does that change anything for us? I look around at our command center, every element selected to reflect our values rather than respond to their rejection. No, I say with certainty. We keep building. 3 days later, I stand at the window of our apartment, sunlight spilling across my open laptop where Giovanni's latest email glows on the screen. The Amalfi Coast villa looks even more perfect in the new photos he sent.
weathered stone walls draped with flowering vines, a terrace overlooking the Mediterranean, and the ancient olive trees that will provide branches for our ceremony. "Did you see what Giovanni found?" I called to Ethan, who's arranging camera equipment in the living room, a local florist who specializes in jasmine garlands.
The scent will be incredible at sunset. Ethan looks up from his packing, a smile spreading across his face. That's exactly what we talked about. The documentary crew is confirmed too. Marco and Sarah will handle the main coverage, while I focus on just being your groom. Our living room has transformed into a command center over the past weeks. Inspiration boards line the walls with fabric swatches and natural tones, sketches of table arrangements, and lighting diagrams for the golden hour when we'll exchange vows. No detail has been left to chance. I finalized the invitations this morning, I say, sliding a cream-colored envelope across the table toward him. Inside is a handcrafted card with pressed olive leaves and our names in simple calligraphy. Just 25 people who've consistently been there for us. Ethan examines the invitation, running his finger over the raised lettering. Perfect, elegant without being showy. He meets my eyes. This is about creating memories that matter, not impressing anyone. I nod, feeling a calm certainty that has replaced the frantic energy of our initial planning. We're building something authentic, something that reflects who we are as a couple and as individuals. Each decision feels right in a way I never experienced when trying to please my family. My phone buzzes on the table. Lily's name appears on the screen. My stomach tightens as I pick it up, scanning the message. "The Italian consulate said you filed for a marriage license. Why are you trying to steal my spotlight?" My hands tremble slightly as I set the phone down. Lily knows about the license. I show Ethan the message. How would she even find that out? "Your mother must have connections," Ethan says quietly. "Or they've been watching closely. What if they try to interfere?" The question slips out before I can stop it. What if they contact Giovanni or try to turn our guest against us? Ethan takes my hands, his grip steady and warm. Then we adapt. We've already decided who matters in our lives. The people coming to Italy are the ones who truly support us. My phone buzzes again with another text, this time from my cousin Jenna. "Aunt Margaret called asking about your Italian wedding. She seems really upset. What's going on?" Then another message from my college roommate. "Your dad just reached out about some wedding in Italy. Are you okay?" I close my eyes, feeling the walls closing in. They're mobilizing the extended family, just as they did with the Miami wedding. The familiar pattern of pressure and guilt sweeps over me. "They're contacting everyone," I whisper, making me sound selfish again. "That was always their plan," Ethan says. Question is, do we engage with these accusations or stay focused on our vision? I look around at our carefully crafted plans, the result of weeks of thoughtful consideration. I don't want to get pulled into their drama. This isn't about them. Later that evening, after securing our venue's privacy settings and alerting our small guest list about potential contact from my family, I step onto our balcony. Seattle's lights flicker below as I breathe in the cool air, feeling strangely calm despite the storm brewing. My phone rings. Giovanni's name flashes on the screen. "Courtney, I received a strange call today," he begins, his Italian accent more pronounced than usual. "A woman claiming to be your mother asked many questions about the ceremony." My heart sinks. "I'm so sorry, Giovanni. My family situation is complicated." "Do not worry," he says firmly. "I told her nothing. Your day will be perfect. Italian privacy laws protect you, and I have informed my staff. No uninvited guests will disturb your celebration." Relief washes over me. "Thank you." After we hang up, Ethan joins me on the balcony, wrapping his arms around my waist. "Everything okay?" Giovanni got a call from my mother, but he handled it perfectly. I lean back against him. He's taking extra security precautions just to be safe. "Let's just focus on us," Ethan says, his voice steady in my ear. "What happens in Miami doesn't matter." Standing there in the growing darkness, I realize how much I've changed. 6 months ago, my mother's call would have sent me into a tailspin of guilt and doubt. Now I feel centered, prepared, focused on creating something beautiful, rather than reacting to their attempts to diminish me. The time for strategic preparation is ending. Next week, we'll board a plane to Italy, and all our careful planning will come to fruition. I can almost smell the jasmine and olive groves, feel the warm Mediterranean breeze on my skin as we exchange vows. Whatever storm my family might be brewing, we're ready. A week later, my phone buzzes at dawn. I've been up for hours anyway, organizing our photography timeline for the ceremony. Ethan sleeps peacefully beside me, his breathing steady and deep. The caller ID reads Mom, and my stomach tightens as I take my coffee to the balcony before answering. "Hello? You need to cancel Italy." Margaret's voice sounds different, not her usual controlled displeasure, but something sharper, more dangerous. "That's not happening." I watch a seagull land on the railing across from me.
Listen carefully, Courtney. If you go through with this, you'll never be welcome in this family again. The seagull takes flight as a car horn blares below. My fingers tighten around my mug. I don't understand why my wedding threatens you so much. Don't try to twist this. You know exactly what you're doing. Her voice vibrates with rage. 1 month before Lily's wedding, after everything we've done for you, a familiar male voice comes through the speaker. Dad? They've put me on speakerphone. You've always been selfish, Richard says, his disappointment cutting through the morning air. This proves it. I move back inside, not wanting neighbors to hear this conversation. I'm getting married to the person I love in a place that means something to us. How is that selfish? Lily's been hospitalized with anxiety attacks because of you, Margaret says. My heart stops. What? Is she okay? As if you care. Her voice drips with venom. Her doctor says the stress you're causing could affect her long-term health. The lie hangs between us. I've seen Lily's Instagram stories from her bachelorette party in the Bahamas 3 days ago, laughing on a yacht, cocktail in hand. That's not true, I say quietly. I saw her posts from the Bahamas. A pause. She pushed herself to go because she didn't want to disappoint her bachelorettes. My phone buzzes with a text. It's my cousin Rachel. Is it true you're stealing Lily's thunder? Everyone's talking about it. Go. Your grandmother may not be around for another wedding, Dad adds, his strategic guilt perfectly timed. She's heartbroken you'd choose a foreign ceremony she can't attend. My grandmother, who, according to Aunt Pamela, hasn't left Florida in 15 years. Your cousin Rachel agrees with us, Margaret continues. So do the Petersons. Even Julie thinks you're being cruel. Julie, my childhood best friend who moved to Australia 5 years ago and hasn't spoken to my mother since. You're lying, I say, surprising myself with how steady my voice sounds. Julie hasn't spoken to you in years. Another call beeps through, Uncle Frank. Then a text from my mother's neighbor, Susan.
Honey, are you sure about this Italian wedding? Sounds expensive and unnecessary. The coordinated assault is almost impressive. Cancel Italy, Margaret says again, or accept that you're no longer part of this family. My throat tightens. Is that what Lily wants too? This is coming from all of us. You've pushed your sister to her breaking point. I walk to the wall where Ethan and I have pinned our wedding plans, local olive branches and jasmine flowers, the cliffside view at sunset, our handwritten vows. I touch the corner of a photo showing Giovanni's villa bathed in golden light. I'll think about what you've said. I tell them, not because I'm considering cancellation, but because I need this call to end. After hanging up, I sit at our kitchen counter, hands trembling despite my calm words. Ethan emerges from the bedroom, instantly reading the situation. Your parents? He asks, reaching for my hand. I nod. They've escalated. Complete family excommunication if we don't cancel. He pours coffee and sits beside me. Are you okay? I'm angry. They're coordinating a full-scale attack, getting relatives and friends to pressure me. I show him the texts. They even claimed Lily's been hospitalized with anxiety. His jaw tightens. That's a new low. I think we should call Adam about security for the ceremony, I say, just in case. Ethan nods. Already ahead of you. Spoke with him yesterday. He knows a local guy in Amalfi who can be discreet. I look at him with surprise. What? I heard your mom on the phone with Aunt Carol last week. I knew this was coming. He squeezes my hand. This is about us, Court, not them. We spend the day finalizing details. I call our photographer friends who'll be documenting the ceremony, confirming their travel arrangements. Ethan contacts the videographer who'll capture everything documentary style. Giovanni emails confirming the jasmine and olive branch arrangements. By sunset, we've adapted our plans to account for potential disruptions without sacrificing our vision. The villa will have subtle security. Our guest list remains unchanged. 25 people who've consistently supported us. My phone rings again just after midnight. Lily, I answer hesitantly. Hello? Did Mom call you? Her voice sounds strained, nothing like her usual confident tone. Yes. A long pause. I didn't ask her to. I say nothing, waiting. Is it beautiful? She asks finally. The place in Italy? The question catches me off guard. Yes, it overlooks the Mediterranean. The light at sunset is perfect for photographs. She makes a small sound, almost like longing. 25 guests? Just people who matter to us. Another pause. Part of me wishes I was having your wedding instead of mine. The admission hangs between us. 230 people I barely know. Most of them are Bradley's family connections.
For the first time, I feel something other than anger or hurt. I feel sorry for her. It's not too late to change things, I offer, though I know she won't. You know I can't. Her voice hardens again. Mom would never forgive me. Mom's forgiveness seems pretty conditional these days. Lily laughs without humor. Always has been. She pauses. I should go. Bradley's waiting. Lily, just take good pictures, okay? The line goes dead. The next morning, Ethan and I stand in the airport terminal with our luggage. Our flight to Naples boards in 20 minutes. From there, we'll drive along the Amalfi Coast to Giovanni's villa. Last chance to back out, Ethan says, his eyes telling me he knows I won't. I look down at our boarding passes, then at the photo on my phone. Giovanni's villa against the Italian sunset. The perfect backdrop for a photographer's wedding. I think of my mother's ultimatum, my father's disappointment, my sister's whispered confession. No turning back, I say, slipping my hand into his. We board the plane, finding our seats by the window. As the aircraft begins taxiing, I review our wedding vows one last time. Words that honor our chosen family. Words that speak to the life we're building, not the one I'm leaving behind. Ethan leans over to kiss my temple. This is about us, not them. The plane accelerates down the runway, lifting into the air. Below us, Seattle grows smaller, until it disappears beneath the clouds. Ahead lies Italy, Giovanni's villa, and the ceremony that will decide everything. I close my eyes and finally allow myself to feel excitement. No matter what happens with my family, in 3 days I'll marry Ethan in the golden Mediterranean light, surrounded by people who truly see me. No turning back, I whisper again, this time with certainty instead of fear. On our wedding day, I stand at the edge of Giovanni's villa terrace, breathing in the scent of jasmine that winds through the iron railings. The September sun hangs low over the Amalfi Coast, bathing everything in that perfect golden light I've spent years chasing through my camera lens. Is it everything you hoped for? Ethan asks, sliding his arm around my waist. Better, I whisper, my voice caught somewhere between awe and disbelief. The Mediterranean spreads before us, a canvas of deep blue dotted with fishing boats returning to harbor. Behind us, our 25 guests mingle on the stone patio, where white wooden chairs face an arbor draped with olive branches and jasmine vines. Giovanni approaches, his weathered face creased with genuine pleasure. The light is perfecto today, he says, gesturing toward the horizon. In 40 years filming here, I have never seen it more beautiful. He squeezes my hand. Your photographer friends are setting up now. They say the conditions are ideal. I nod, unable to form words. After years of capturing other couples' memories, today my vision will shape my own wedding. James and Vanessa, 2 photographers I've collaborated with for years, position themselves at opposite ends of the terrace. Not competing, but complementing, capturing different angles of the same authentic moment, just as we planned. 10 minutes, Ethan's friend Marcus announces, adjusting his camera rig for the documentary filming we've arranged. No staged moments, no artificial poses, just truth. I retreat to the villa's master bedroom, where my simple silk dress hangs by the window. The fabric catches the breeze, dancing slightly. Not a princess gown like Lily's, but exactly what I would have chosen for my most important client.